appreciate the coverage that you've given our football team and the coverage that you've given our student athletes. You know, there's a lot of different things that I want to be for my guys as the head football coach, and one of those is being able to create and make experiences, life experiences for them for the rest of their life. And you guys play a big role in that. You help tell the story and create memories for guys for a long time, and I appreciate it, and I respect the job that you do, and I know I'm not always the easiest guy to work with. So thank y'all, and hopefully I give you something positive to write about here in the next few days, and covering our team moving forward. Let me know if we can do something to help more. Maybe should have started it off with the thoughts and prayers with everybody on the Texas Gulf Coast, in Houston and all the areas there. You know, there's so many lives affected by that. Puts things in perspective really quickly. And you know, we've got a handful of players on our current roster whose families are greatly affected. And you know, you look at the thing, see the pictures, watch the video, and listen to the stories, and your heart goes out to all of them. Will be years and years before they probably fully recover. But you know, as a program and the university, we've got those guys in our thoughts and prayers, and hopeful that things start to move in the right direction for them. Last week, a huge, really for a football program and athletic department, a kind of a monumental move with the transitioning with the unanimous vote of the South End Zone project. Such a great, on so many levels for us, the way that has come about, the way that it takes all the moving parts to get everybody on the same page with the, you know, and to get it to a unanimous situation is something I'm very grateful for. You look at the leadership of our campus, look at the leadership of our athletic department, and then obviously the vision that we've had on putting all that together, working together. You know, we'll be forever grateful for all the folks that have played a part in this, and then obviously our great fans that have stepped up in a huge way to get us where we are financially to this point on the project. And there's a lot of great momentum moving forward with that. And there's if not daily meetings, there's weekly meetings on the infrastructure now of that facility, and that's exciting for me, having a chance to start really putting, you know, you've got the square footage and you're dividing it up on the flow for the student athletes, and again the experience that they're going to have, and making sure that we hit everything exactly how it needs to be, because this is, I understand this is, you know, a one-time deal for me, and so it's awesome, and you know, to have a lasting impact on Mizzou football, it's very humbling for me. So a lot of folks that are, you know, with Jim's leadership, Mike McHugh and Tim Hickman, and then obviously President Choi and Chancellor Cartwright, and then the curators. I'm really thankful for them. So a lot of stuff. There's a lot of great stuff's going on. You know, personally, this with our staff, we've switched obviously into game mode and game week mode, and the thing I'm most looking forward to and most excited about is having a chance to see this team go compete. And I like the approach that we've taken since the end of the year last year by our senior leadership. There's a bunch of guys walking around with a chip on their shoulder, and we're ready to go compete, and I'm excited about that. And probably our best practice of any fall of any kind during fall camp on Sunday night, and to tell our guys are excited to get next Saturday here. We don't practice on Monday, so today will be the first day back, and you know, we've spent a number of days leading up to this point on our first opponent, so got a really good handle on the game plan, that's fine-tuning that, and the thing with that, it will continue to work and try to get our guys in the right position all the way up through kickoff. And I'm excited to be in front of our home crowd and to kick it off here this year, and I like the mindset of our football team right now, and it's going to be a fun week. The thing that has been a little more, calming is the right word, but maybe it is. It's our football staff working together for now going into year 2. It's never easy, but things, your experience has helped me. It's helped our staff. We know what a Tuesday practice is supposed to be and what it looks like with, you go through the staff meeting, and just about everybody in the room's been through it before. And I'm thankful for that. And then, you look at overall, not just the staff, but organizationally, if you look at what our program has become with, all the different departments that touch our players and serve our players on a daily basis, they've done an outstanding job on really pouring themselves into our kids and allowing them to be successful in a lot of areas. And the thing that I talk to our guys about all the time is you're not guaranteed much. We got one game right now that we're guaranteed, and we get the chance to go compete and play. And all the work that you put into it, all the sacrifices, all the different things that you put into the investment on trying to be a really good football player, we get a chance to go showcase that on Saturday. And I'm anxious to see this group go do that. We'll hit the field today, this afternoon, and have a padded practice, and then tomorrow will be a little bit less of a physical day, and then take the pads completely off Thursday and Friday, and get ready to go play it at 11 o'clock. Open it up to questions.
Obviously, outside of a win, just from the technical standpoint of your team, what do you look for in that first game of the season?
Well, there's an element of unknown for every first game for both sides. And you want to make sure that you're prepared for any situation that you're going to be in for our kids. We've tried to script and put them in as many of those situations as you can. You want them to play fast. You want them to be able to play with an understanding of the game plan, that once they see a formation or on either side of the ball, that they know how to go execute against what they're seeing. And consistent play, like to see disciplined football, offensively take care of the football, defense get it back. Being able to consistently drive the football, and then defense focus on getting the ball back for our offense any way that we can.
Coach, the depth chart, the one thing that I guess probably surprised most of us was your tight end position. Can you talk about kind of how that shook out, and with Grease over Blanton, and how all that will be split up? Yeah, a little. With Jason, all three of those guys had a really good camp. And I don't really. It's a shocker. I don't really like depth charts because we're having a bunch of guys play at a lot of spots, and just because you roll out there with the ones, that doesn't, or the first time we take a snap, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to play more than the next guy at that position. So Reese has done a great job. He's got a little more experience than the other couple guys in that room. He's performed very well during camp, and then Albert and Kendall are going to play a whole lot. So there's an opportunity there, and there'll be plenty of reps to go around for all three of those guys.
When you put the order on all the linebackers, is that kind of a decision you made later in the week, or game?
Yeah, you look at for those guys with Caleb and Brandon, and then Kel and Eric and Therese and Burkett. We feel like that all six of those guys can either be a starter or going to play fairly close to evenly. Some of it depends on what personnel grouping that we get on the first snap, on how we match it up. So it could be a combination of a lot of different ways there. And we've done Damani and Brian coaching inside and outside there. We've done a lot of cross training. This camp on making sure that we get guys ready to go play a number of different spots, and that's been important to us. And like I talked about a little bit, the twos have got to be ready to they're play away from being a quote unquote one and playing a lot of ball. So we'll see all six of those guys and probably play quite a bit, every one of them.
How comfortable are you with Jordan Ulmer? I mean, obviously he's the top of the depth chart there, but putting a freshman in a pretty key spot in your defense, any concern?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of concerns. I can spin it any way that I want to and be concerned about a lot of the spots, and you always there's a lot of guys that go through the travel list. A lot of guys will be first-time travel guys, you know, and you know, the bright light, so to speak, when you get into that arena. You know, the mental capacity and the mental focus that it takes to go play at the level you need to win a game. It's often, you know, on the back end, you know, you turn around, you look, there's nobody, you know, there's nobody behind you. So, you know, the importance and for those spots on protecting our program, protecting our team, keeping things in front of us, and being great tacklers. But again, those two safety spots, you know, Perkins had run out, had an injury a little bit through camp, so he's been a little bit limited, but back to about full speed. And you know, he and Cheryl's are going to, you know, and Cam Hilton's had a great camp, and really all four of those guys are going to play a whole lot. And you know, the different things that we do in our nickel or dime packages and sub packages, we can see a combination of a lot of those guys on the field at the same time.
Has Omar been better than you would have expected?
He has been, yeah. And you know, I thought we were recruiting a guy that was, you know, he's a taller, longer athlete with really good speed and great range. He's got maybe a little better feel for the game a little bit than I thought he would. Just he doesn't really ever get has not up to this point, hasn't really gotten and put himself in a stress situation, either in coverage or he's always kind of been in control. And I like his demeanor. I like the way he plays. Plays really, really physical. And but again, we're going to count on a lot of guys at both of those spots to go to what we want to do defensively.
Where did you see Tristan Castillo in this offseason that pushed him into starting spots?
Well, I think he's, you know, the experience of playing in this offense has helped him. You know, he and Jonah both are going to play a lot, and there'll be some time split there. The things that both of those guys bring to the skill set of the offense, they've got to make checks. They've got to help out. They've got to help ID guys up front. And both Tristan and Jonah have done a great job. And Tristan's done it a little bit more consistently. But I'm excited about Jonah too.
Coach, when's the last time you talked to Coach Steckel?
Actually, voice talk or text communication.
Any sort of communication?
I don't know. I didn't bring my phone. It's been a few days, I guess. I don't know. It's been a little while.
What do you think that'll be like for you to go up against it?
I'm ready to get the game here, and I'm ready to go play really well. And you know, there's been a lot said about it. I've got great respect for Stack. He's a friend. He's trying to beat me, so that's about how I feel about it.
Coach, is there anyone in particular from the DC?
I mean, with that, a couple years ago, I played my brother. Okay, he was on the other sideline, and we didn't talk for 3 months. So, he's trying to beat me, and I'm trying to beat him.
Is there anybody from the Houston area whose family is in been affected directly by the flooding? You know?
Yeah, we've got. I didn't bring I think we've got 7 or 8 that we went through that really either direct family or relatives that are in a bad spot. And so that's something you got to be very, very sensitive to it. Try to help them any way that you can. And it's such a catastrophic deal that you don't have a lot of answers. You just want to provide support for them and help the way that you can, help them and help the families.
Coach, yesterday you mentioned the medical hall and big camp. Can you expand on that? What are you told to see from him this season?
Well, Manuel's got the ability. He's got like a bunch of guys on offense. He's got an opportunity to stretch the field with his speed, his vertical speed, linear speed. Can get down the field. He's probably caught the ball as consistent or more than anybody, at the receiver spot this fall camp. And he's got some game experience, not a ton, but he can be another guy. JJ gets a lot of attention deserved. So does Jamon. I think Emmanuel can be another great threat for us. And he's matured in the offense, and I think he's had a chance to be a special player.
Barry, another, obviously, you won't be a part of it, but honoring the 2017 at halftime this weekend, just being a part of the program at that time, what are your memories? I mean, that was kind of the team that put this program on the map.
Yeah, no doubt. And Gary did such a great job along with that staff on recruiting those guys, and then once they got here, really developing them into, arguably one of the greatest teams in Mizzou history. And the things that there's a lot of things that I remember about that group, but maybe more than anything is just the leadership and the accountability that they had within the team, within each other. Great playmakers all over the field. But I mean, I remember vividly going through the training room down in Rex Sharp's area. Lorenzo Williams was going around asking guys just point blank directly, how much film have you watched today on your own? And if it wasn't the answer that he was looking for, then he was getting them in the film room, and it was unbelievable. And they played well in big games, and obviously Chase had a lot of weapons, but man, what a player he was. And then up front on both sides of the ball, there's players all over the field. The coaching staff did an unbelievable job on putting those guys in position, doing what they could do really well. And I've admired a lot, not only organizationally from Gary from that year, but also the way the coaching staff did, and then the way the players competed and how close they were together as a team.
Coach, 4 straight home games to start on the schedule. Does that bring a certain comfort level to your staff and your players knowing that they're going to be in Columbia for the next month?
Well, you look at when you can get a home field advantage, when you're playing the right way and you got people in the stands, and it gives you a big boost. So I'm excited about the opportunity to be at home. I'm thrilled that our guys are going to have the chance to do that 4 weeks in a row. I know we're going to respond the right way. I know the Mizzou fans are going to respond the right way, and it's awesome. I mean, it's for however many years I'm in coaching, probably will never get four in a row at home. So we don't travel till October, and they could go 4 in a bye week, and then we go on the road. So we've scripted, go through a mock game, as we call it. We've gone to the hotel. We've done the Friday night meal and the meetings, and done the Tiger Walk and the pregame, and so we ought to be used to it, right? We ought to be ready to go play our best.
I think you had just gotten here with Jordan Harold transferred. Did you have any early impression of him? Did you envision him having this role?
Well, you look when he first walked in the door, nothing has changed really on his motor. Was awesome then, and maybe even a little better now. That he's a little more vocal now than he was, obviously when he first arrived. But he's done. You talk about being a program guy, a guy that just has really in every area really worked and busted his tail to get everything that he's getting at this point. I'm proud of him, and got a lot of respect in the locker room, and I think he's going to have a really good year playing on the field.
What do you think about Markel Etsy and his ability to come back from injury, especially with him and Terry kind of doing it together?
Yeah, I think it always helps, when you got somebody going through the same thing, and Terry had been through it before, so you could lean on him a little bit. Rex has written a book on that rehab plan, and I remember going through it years and years ago. But had Kevin Ford, who was another linebacker that had shoulder surgery during that time, so he and I were in the treatment room all the time, and it was a lot easier having him there than not there. Markel and Terry kind of done the same thing, and leaned on each other and obviously pushed each other, and that's been a driving force for both of those guys. And we're a lot better defense with those two guys on the field.
Just to clarify, I'm not sure if I heard you right on the conference call yesterday. When you were talking about Bledsoe and Auburn Miller, did you say they will have an opportunity to play?
Yeah, I think they're both in the special teams. Too deep. I don't know if they're going to get in there this week, but a little bit of that depends on how they handle it the next couple of days. But both are tremendous athletes, and I think have a chance to help us.
Any other freshmen that you think, there's the 4 on the depth and those 2? You got, with Kobe, Chris Turner, Jordan, and Sparks, and then Miller, and
Yeah, we got Roundtree at tailback. We'll play. Trying to go through the visually the board as I see it, position by position. Jamal Brooks will play. On the special teams, and that'd be about it right now.
You touched on Renell Perkins earlier. Can you just talk about kind of his athleticism
He's a guy that's really physical. He's got tremendous quickness. Quicker than he is, probably fast, I guess. But that's good. He understands it. Got good cover skills, and he understands the defense. And you know, he is ended the year last year playing pretty well. He picked up. You know, he had the few days he was out and limited, which set him back a little bit. But he's really close to 100%, and he's a dynamic playmaker. He's going to play a lot of really good football for us.
Coach, do you have any idea who might have that Josh Augusta role this year?
On the defensive line?
No, for like the 1 yard
Bone
package.
Oh, yeah. There's a number of guys that are going to do it. So that offensive personnel grouping has grown into 3 or 4 guys. So everybody wants to do it. And so it'll be fun to see on Saturday.
Got time for a couple more? Anybody?
Can you talk a little bit about special teams, just kind of where the team is at?
Yeah, we've just divided up the special teams assignments a little bit differently this year. We've got a lead coach and, you know, in charge of every unit. So the big 4, you talk about punt, kickoff return, and kickoff coverage, and then punt return. And then, so there's 1 lead coach for every team, and then 2 assistants to assist them to help out. I like that design. You know, it's better for a program. I messed it up last year trying to do it all. So it will be a much better special teams unit, better special teams operating from top to bottom. Fatoni's had an unbelievable. I wouldn't trade him for anybody in the country at that spot. We do a sky punt situation. He gets upset if it's not for 3. You know, it's at the 5 yard line. He's mad, and that's pretty talented. Tucker's had a really good fall camp. I'm excited about seeing him compete in game-like situation. And then, you know, our 2 snappers are Workman and Wise. They're both, you know, it's kind of neck and neck. They both look about identical, other than jersey number. So that's a knock on wood, a good problem to have. So our cover teams, you know, we get a lot of speed on our kickoff cover team, and we've got some playmakers that have the opportunity to catch the ball on punt return and kickoff return to really get those guys another touch. And obviously the guys that are blocking for them take great pride, because they know it. At any time with those guys back there, I got a chance to take it to the house. So it's been fun to watch our guys grow into those roles and really want to make it a great benefit for our team.
The punters and long snappers, those are guys that are difficult to find, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be. You know, I don't like talking about them too much. As soon as I do, I learn that something goes wrong. So just keep on pressing on.